What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode here on the MIgardener channel. Hopefully you're all having a great day. I absolutely am. Today we're going to be doing a recipe video because you all asked for it. In our last video where we harvested lemongrass that we grew from seed, I said if we had over 300 thumbs up on that video, that we would do a recipe video on making Thai lemongrass soup. So that's what we're doing today. We're gonna be making an authentic Thai lemongrass soup. Really excited for this. It's one of my most favorite soups when it comes to like garden fresh ingredients. It's really easy to do, super delicious, and it's also healthy. That's the thing that we're really focusing on. Cindy and I have been focusing more on whole foods, plant-based nutrition. So this diet will be it will be vegan friendly and vegetarian friendly. You know, we don't consider ourselves vegans. We don't consider ourselves vegetarians. We're just trying to get back to a whole foods approach to our diet. I was at the doctor the other day and found out that I had slightly higher blood pressure than I should have for my age. So obviously nothing to be, no alarm bells were ringing, but it was just something to look forward to into the future and say, okay, we need to just kind of nip this in the bud. And so we kind of analyzed where there might be some causes for that high blood pressure. And a lot of that just had to do with tiny things in your diet that can offset your blood pressure and other lifestyle changes as well. Let's get with the ingredients. And you're gonna be surprised how much can come from your garden, especially if you live in a tropical region or kind of a subtropical region. A lot, even more can come from your garden. So it's a really fresh, healthy dish that I'm excited to bring to you all. Let's go. All right, so the ingredients you're going to need to make this Thai lemongrass soup is some vegetable broth, or you can supplement this with beef broth. Obviously, vegetable broth, low sodium, is going to be far healthier, so that's what we're going with. You're also going to need some enoki mushrooms. This is way traditional. If you can find these, this is the way to go. But if you can't find these, shiitake is also very widely used. And also you're going to need, originally we're going to go with rice noodles, but we actually did not have any rice noodles, so I just opted for just some Chinese kind of like a ramen type noodle. It just has to be, it can be wheat or rice, doesn't matter. But all you want is something kind of thin and stringy. Then you need 2 stalks of lemongrass. You need some fresh garlic. Now we are using dried chilies. These are the Serrano chilies from the garden. Fresh would be the best, but obviously there's snow outside now, so can't quite get fresh. But the dried is going to be awesome flavor, sweet and spicy. Then also you need some tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes come right from the garden there. They are obviously not the large tomatoes. You're supposed to kind of chunk them up, so we'll have to work with what we got here. But either way, tomatoes, a lime. Now also traditionally you'd use a kaffir lime, the leaves of the kaffir lime, but since we can't find the kaffir limes here, we're going to use some lime zest and the lime juice, just some ginger there, some cilantro, and then also what you're going to really need to make this dish super authentic is some chili paste. This is just a red chili paste, really rich in flavor and low in sodium. And then obviously the only unhealthy thing that you really can't supplement out, and don't go with the low sodium version, is soy sauce. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just going to mince up 4 cloves of garlic. While I have a little bit of oil heating in a pan, I'm going to mince that up, as well as some ginger. You just wanna saute up the ginger and the garlic. You want about 1.5 inch, 2 inch piece of ginger there. And this can be garden grown as well. So, I mean, the bulk majority of this recipe can be garden grown, which is so awesome. I love that. Pro tip to peeling your ginger, use a spoon. Definitely something that a lot of times people struggle with is peeling their ginger. A lot goes to waste if you use a knife. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our minced garlic and ginger and add it to a preheated pan with just a little bit of oil. So in this pan here, I just have a little bit of coconut oil, because that's the oil of choice in Thailand. A lot of Thai coconuts there, so we have a lot of coconut oil. But we're just putting a little bit of coconut oil in the pan, and we're just lightly browning the ginger. I'm also going to quickly mince up our serrano peppers and our chili paste, and that's going to go in this pan as well. Those are our aromatics. So now in this pan, sauteing up are the serrano chilies, And then I just want to add about a half teaspoon or so of the red chili paste. You can add a little bit more if you like it hotter. I choose to not add the heat now because you can make it hotter with each individual person by just adding a little bit into the bowl when you serve it up if you like it hotter, and that way everyone's happy. We're just gonna let that saute for about another 30 seconds to a minute or so. You don't wanna overcook the garlic and the ginger. It's a big mistake is if you brown it, it's gonna taste burnt. You wanna make sure that you just infuse the coconut oil with that flavor and do not overcook it. All right, so now we are ready. We're just starting to get that nice aromatic smell. We wanna add our vegetable stock. Now what we wanna do is we want to cut some lime peel, and that's going to basically be our kefir leaf supplement. Obviously kefir leaves are way better, but what you want is you just want some of your lime rind, because you're going to just simply boil this for a little bit and then pull it out. So it's not going to, you're not going to add just the zest in the into the actual dish. There we go. You just want 2 nice strips there. So we're going to add those to the stock, and that way it's going to infuse that nice lime flavor in there. So now that we've gotten the lime prepared, what we want to do is we want to prepare our lemongrass. You'll notice that there are leaves on the lemongrass, and each leaf is basically like a ring on the lemongrass. You'll notice the different rings there. And what you want to do is you want to get to the tender part of the lemongrass, because we're going to add some of the lemongrass as an aromatic to infuse the flavor, but we're also going to add just a little bit of minced lemongrass so that we can actually have some in the soup itself, because it's such a delicious herb to have. Now you'll notice that it's rather difficult to get down to the center of the lemongrass to get to the tender part that you want. So what I find is easy is take your knife, tip it so that the blade is facing up, and give it a couple really good whacks. What that's going to do is it's going to break that husk and expose just the tender flesh inside. It's a really, really easy technique to get into your lemongrass to get to the tender part, because you do not want to serve the outer husk because it's very, very hard. You'll notice, I mean, look at how much we got. I mean, that is just a tiny little bit there. And the rest will have to be discarded because it's unusable. So, and that's hard too. You want to make sure that anything hard gets discarded, because it will basically never soften up. So there we go. That is all you're going to use in the soup, and it's going to be so delicious. So we're going to just dice that up really fine. Now we're just going to let this boil till the liquid reduces by about half. And that's really going to condense those flavors, like I said. So then once we're ready to finish off the soup, we can add our enoki mushrooms and the rest of the vegetable broth, and we'll be set. So the next thing we're going to do is we want to just simply peel these apart, because you'll notice once you cut them from the stem, they'll just pretty much fall apart here. And you want to leave them in nice long strands like that. Okay, so now that we are almost ready, the liquid has reduced by about half. What we want to do is we want to throw in our enoki mushrooms and our noodles there. We also want to add the last little bit of our stock. Because the enoki mushrooms and the noodles take about 3 to 4 minutes to cook, we want to throw them at the exact same time. We're going to bring that up to a boil, finish her off. All right, so we're ready to plate it up, or bowl it up, I guess. And we're just going to make sure that we Get a good amount of broth. Thai lemongrass soup is traditionally very brothy. And then you'll simply want to garnish with some cilantro leaves. A scoop of fresh tomatoes. And a nice squeeze of some fresh lime juice. And there you go. A bowl of fresh Thai lemongrass soup. So there you all go. There is some fresh Thai lemongrass soup right from the garden. I hope you all enjoyed. Hopefully you'll learn something new. And I do hope you try this. If you do try it, let me know how it turns out for you in the comments box below. And also, if you want to share pictures with us over on Instagram or Facebook. We'd love to see what you all are taking from these videos and knowing that you are enjoying these videos and actually implementing them in your life. So as always, I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you learned something new. And as always, grow big or go home. See ya. Bye.